This is a pretty special Seiko Presage model here. You can see it even comes on a very special presentation box here. This is a real wood. This is a light grade wood. Even the inside's nicely printed and padded. Here's one of the hang tags that come with it. This is the Shippo Enamel. And you got to read this because there's the name of the craftsman. There's one guy that does this. And you can read there that these are handcrafted. I watched a video. If I can find the link to the video, I'll put it in the description. But it kind of showed how they do it. So they have a raw dial. And then he does, I believe, multiple layers of enamel. I could be wrong on that part of it. But once he gets to a certain thickness and overall look to it, then they go ahead and proceed with the rest, placing it in the watch. But the whole process is slightly time consuming, and definitely you can tell it's some hand craftsmanship definitely going on there. I'm going to do my best to try to capture this dial. I think it's maybe, studio lights are fine, natural light, a combination of both I think presented would be better. I don't really have the access to do the natural light right now. I will be sending this off to Bruce when I'm done, so I'm sure he'll be able to capture some really good macros of it. But I want to say big thanks to Homer. This is his personal watch. He sent it in. He always has the coolest watches, so big thanks to Homer for lending this in. So while we're talking about it, I will zoom in, and you will be you won't be surprised here to find some defects on the dial. That's why that little, note is given on this guy. So so the people that have like crazy OCD about defects on dial, they know that this is part of the process. This is handcrafted stuff here. So you can definitely see around the date window there where the material thins out because they didn't want it to go all the way in and mess it all up. So you can see a little bit of the raw dial there. And then the other part that would be the raw dial would be around the very outside edge of it. And that's covered up by the chapter ring inside there. So you won't see that unless you were to deconstruct it. So it's pretty dynamic. It's pretty wild, very vivid, but flat. You can see it's pretty insane, guys. And then I'm not even sure how they did those indices. I can try to zoom in. It's going to lose some of its clarity, but they look like they're applied. They must be some sort of applied indices to be able to get them on there. So all of the Romans are applied. The Seiko part is applied, and then the Presage automatic maybe is printed. Maybe it's all printed. It's hard for me to tell really with the equipment that I have. And then even the hands almost look like they're like the hour and minute hand. There's that stark white to tie in with the rest of the dial. Those almost look like they're hand done too. I couldn't find any information if those are hand painted too. But that's not loom. That's actual, whatever paint they used to do it. And then the second hand's actually a really good choice. It goes all the way out past the Roman numerals and touches that outer chapter. And then you have a crescent on the backside there for the balance. So this is like probably top level Presage as far as I've been able to get my hands on. Here's the other hang tag. You can see it's the spb075, suggested retail of $1,400. Sapphire crystal, has a 6R15 movement in it. I'll give you a little glimpse at that. Still have the protective plastic on the backside here, but you can see it's pretty standard affair. You can see up the top of the screen there. This is actual numbered case backs. This is 2,138 of 2,500 made for this particular model. There was two models for this blue Shippo enamel. The other one actually had a special movement in it and had a power reserve indicator and everything, but it added a lot more thickness. The size of this guy is like perfection. I believe I didn't measure it, so I'll measure it here real quick. I want to say it's actually a 40 mil watch. Yeah, it's basically 40 mil. The lug to lug is like a 47, and then the thickness I'm guessing is right around 13. Yeah, it's like 12 or 12 and a half. Yeah, So the size and everything for this watch is great. 20 mil lug width. And even this leather strap that they put it on with this alligator print here is the best Seiko strap I have ever tried. You would not change the strap. I mean, you could certainly, but this strap, you're going to want to wear it on this strap. And then even with this buckling. So I'll give you a wrist shot here real quick. I'm not super used to these, but it is fairly quick to get on. You can see there on my 7.25 inch wrist, it wears perfect. Standard Seiko affair. And this is definitely not oversized. The sizing on this is perfect. 40 mil with like a 47 lug to lug. That's a really nicely sized watch. Kind of a, I don't want to say onion style crown, but it kind of flares out a little bit. I guess you could call it that. So, and then of course it's signed. Even the profile of the whole watch is just really nicely done. Which I'm sure there's other Presage watches of this case size and shape and everything and polishing. I could be wrong on that. You guys can chime in. I'm not super well versed with the Presage line, but this dial, this enamel dial, is like mind-blowingly good. And it's cool that they did it in a limited production. Of course, they would have to because of the way it's produced, but it definitely makes it more special. And I have to believe that because, you know, obviously it's limited, so as they start to deplete the availability of this model, you're going to start seeing the price climb up. I think on the secondary market, you might still be lucky enough to find one for around $1,300-$1,400. But once those are gone, I think the prices are just going to shoot right up. And I would not be shocked to see these close to the $2,000 range. That's just my hunch. I could be wrong, but I rarely am. I'm just kidding, guys. But you know how it goes with these Seiko limited editions, man. They skyrocket usually. So thanks for checking it out with me and watching. I'll see you on the next video. Big thanks to Homer for lending this in. I don't think I would ever have gotten my hands on one of these. You just do not see these out in the wild for sure. And I don't even really see them post up on forums too much, you know, with everything being so diver heavy. It's really nice to see something like this of this enamel dial is just, wow, it's so good. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.